All right, so it would be a trade show if we didn't stop by the Deity booth with Andrew. And you guys always innovating audio. Just when I think someone can't figure something out that's a little better, that could become a standard, you kind of do it again. And this is no different, this transmitter. Yeah. A lot of hat tricks in this.
A lot of hat tricks. So a lot of people, I mean, they saw the lav system, they love the lav system. They said, but where's the plug-on XLR support? And we said, yeah, no, we're going to make that. And that's when we said, okay, if we're going to make this, what all can we add to this little box? There's a lot of empty space when we were done making it. And we were like, well, let's add this. Cool, there's room for this. Let's add that. So
yeah, for real.
We added, of course, phantom power, because we believe in phantom power on your transmitter.
Yeah.
We added a lavalier input.
Which is awesome.
That lavalier input is also a stereo line input too. This is a stereo transmitter. So if you input a line level signal in there, the stereo, you put that duo RX receiver in the stereo mode, link it up, you have a stereo output on that guy as well.
That's insane. But it's also got this right here.
It's also got a built-in 24-bit, 48 kilohertz uncompressed PZM wave recorder. It's good and sealed.
Yeah, it's a recorder onto a micro SD. All right, I'm done. I'm giving up. But I thought that was really cool because what you were telling me is...
You don't need to take it out. You could. We accidentally plugged it. I had to charge this because we're in Europe and they have the funny plugs over here and I forgot to bring my stuff. So we had to charge it on my hotel TV and immediately my TV goes, oh, that's a media device. Do you want to play your files?
That's sick. But you just said you had to charge it. It's an onboard lithium battery.
Onboard lithium battery.
And what you were telling me is that in case it says I'm running out of power, it'll go into a fail-safe mode where it just dumps everything into the record.
Yes. So what it starts to do is starts to save all your files, close up all your wave, so that if it does lose power, you do not lose data.
Which is huge.
A lot of people think they want rechargeable, but they want to like swap out the batteries. But the problem is by adding a battery door, if you're talent, if you're boom operator, if somehow that battery door opens up and somehow the battery gets loose, you immediately lose all your data. Doesn't matter if you're recording for 2 minutes or an hour, it's gone.
And just in case you're worried, if you're thinking that, oh, what if I want to keep going all day and I only have one of these, you can actually run it off of USB-C, AC line it out.
Absolutely. Up to 128 gig card. Okay. 1 gig equals 1 hour.
Okay, but how long does the battery go for?
Okay, so the battery, it's 2,600 milliamps. It's a 100 milliamp transmitter, but if you drop it to 50 milliamps, which is more than what most people honestly need for a wireless boom.
Okay.
And you enable the 48 volt phantom power, and you enable the record feature.
Are you gonna sell me a car? What's going on? Tell me.
Over 10 hours
Over 10 hours of battery. So, okay, over 10 hours battery, it records, built-in battery, lav input, XLR. We're talking about onboard recording with USB-C as a line out in case I want to have a hard line.
And a headphone jack.
And a monitor.
And this is the best part. Again, just like the lavalier, every feature is remote controlled, even the record feature. We actually have it, so if you have 2 of these hooked up to one duo RX, transmitter A is your up button, transmitter B is your down button. So I'm gonna hold the up button and
it starts recording.
Starts recording. I'm done recording. I hold that down button, that up button again, and it stops recording. 2.4 gigahertz is a fear for a lot of people for wireless. They are afraid of Wi-Fi, they're afraid of RF interference.
Well, we dealt with that at these trade shows like crazy.
And we want to take that fear away from.
This is amazing. You guys are always killing it, I gotta say, man. And it's like fast. You're fleshing out your systems really quickly. Every show we've seen something new that adds on to things already done. Well done, man.
Only issue, if you're in the US, we do have to make the caveat. It is record or transmit. Outside the US, no issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Availability?
Mid-November.
Price point?
$249.
Yeah, and it's light. Can I just say that it's like super?
Yeah, we're tossing it around.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Andrew, once again, thank you so much. We'll keep it on you as always.
Later.
All right, guys. So we have to stop by the legendary Arri booth. We're huge fans of their stuff, but this Orbiter has been announced and it's such a striking design. I had to stop and talk to Nancy. What exactly is going on here? What is the Orbiter?
Orbiter is our brand new released LED fixture. Well, this is our cut-to-edge fixture, which build in all the technologies and the possibilities inside and all the features we have so far. So, compared to our previous fixtures, the most important feature that we got is we got a series of optics which you can mount on Orbiter in a second. That is something quite new, that now we have open face in 3 degrees, we have profile in 2 degrees, we all have domes and softbanks. to make the possibility from a very hard, sharp light to a soft light. And the change of the optics really goes very fast, like in a second.
So it's a lot of power that you can either widen out or focus down with almost like a mirror type reflector, so you can get a more intensity in a direct area.
Right.
It's a really interesting diode too. The source that's coming from is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
You also have orbs, other modifiers that can quickly snap into place, right?
Yes, the change of the optics is pretty easy. Well, we change it now. I can do it again to show you that the mount is like in a second. The release of the mount is a pressure button and twist, then here we go.
Beautiful.
Now while we're doing that, you can already see that. Would you please release from that hand? Yes. Here, that's our, inside this is our new light engine. The light engine, if you are already familiar with our sky panel, we used to have 4 colors of LED in the light engine. Now we have 6. We have RGB and amber, lime, and cyan. That's a new technology or new spectrum we introduced.
For better color fidelity.
Yes, for very wide color gamut. The color gamut now can cover 90% of Reg 2020.
Wow.
So now we can change it to an open face 30 degree to show the brightness we have in such a small 400 volt fixture. Now we can have a look at the brightness.
And you're pretty much lighting up the entire ceiling of this convention center.
And keep in mind that this is only 400 volt LED. And if we look in, now I dim down so we can look into the manual. If we look into the manual,
this interface is new for you, right?
Yes, this interface is new for us. It's much improved from our previous fixtures. You see all this intuitive graphic and colored interface. With all these functions we have and more functions compared to our previous fixtures. Another innovative feature we built in this fixture is that here you see this is a color sensor.
Yeah.
With the color sensor, it's possible to measure the ambient environment color of light and then mimic or reproduce in this fixture in the light.
So it's going to take the ambient light reading and actually source match.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes, we can do it in 2 ways, like in momentary once, or you can also do that in real time. Means it can change with the environment light.
So as light's changing while you're filming, this will continue to source match what's going on in your area. So if you're shooting and you're in like fluorescent lighting, but then a car goes by with the headlights, it'll actually read all of that and do its best to match all of it. That's incredible.
Yes, this is a brand new feature that we have in a fixture.
That's does this go with the Stellar app as well?
That will go to the Stellar app as it began to delivery. Now we have all these demo units, and the start of delivery will be early next year.
Early next year. Do we have like a price idea?
We have a price idea. A price range is from 5,000 to 6,000 for the lamp head, and for the optics we have different price range also.
And there'll be packages?
Yes, of course. There will be kits or packages.
Great.
By that time.
Well, Arri, you guys do such amazing. We were a huge fan. We really are. Like this guy behind the camera, huge fan. We're going to keep an eye on this one. We're really curious to try it out ourselves. But this is a very interesting feature. So, write us a comment down below if you want to know anything else more about the Arri. We'll try to get some more details on it. But hit the link, and thank you so much, Nancy.
Thank you.
So we're stopped here at the Vitek Group, which is an enormous family of brands. One of the ones that we figured you need a good spotlight on is SmallHD. And you just come out with this Vision series, which is pretty interesting with the 2,000 plus groups of dimmable zones, right?
Yep. Yeah. So at the show, we're talking about 4K monitoring. It's our first step into 4K, and we're really excited about it. We're going to do 2 families of 4K monitors, the Cine series and the Vision series. Right here we're looking at the Vision series. We're going to do a 13-inch, a 17-inch, and a 24-inch of each of the families. And the exciting thing about the Vision is it's going to be basically a beautiful panel on each one of these. All of them would be reference grade, 1,000,000:1 contrast ratio, Dolby Vision certified, 2,000 plus zones local dimming, like you said. These things are going to be OLED quality for way lower than an OLED price.
Yeah, the blacks in this screen are amazing. It's really, I mean, it's a crystal clean image.
Yeah, black is black. I mean,
yeah.
That's the key here, and that's the goal. And you're going to have such huge contrast ratio that you can do color grading on this, you can do HDR grading, all that sort of stuff is going to be built into this monitor, and we're really excited about it. These are going to be very competitively priced with their competition, and then the Cine series, which I talked about before, is going to be an edge-lit backlight, which is kind of what we're more familiar with, but they're going to be beautiful 4K monitors and super aggressively priced. We're really excited about coming out with 4K panels next year early.
Yeah, I mean, what you basically did here was create an OLED-style technology, but affordable.
Yeah.
So you have the power completely off on those black points.
Yeah, the black. If it's black because the light is completely off. And this is a proprietary panel that we helped design. The panel is not our design, but the backlight board is partly our design, and we've got exclusivity on that. So we're really excited. These also, just want to quickly say, will all have quad view, and they've got 4 12G SDI inputs, so you can actually send 4 signals at once and see them all on the same screen.
All right, so availability in Q1?
Q1 2020, yep.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your show.
Yeah, thanks guys, and stay tuned to SmallHD.com for pricing and other announcements.
Snuck that in there. You saw that? He's smart.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm here at the Xeen booth, which is a new cinema lens line. We've heard a lot about it, so we had to stop by. And John, can you just walk me through what's so great here?
Hi guys, this is John. Actually, we have a new family here. This is our original Xeen lenses, and this is our new Xeen lenses, which is CF. As you can see here, we have really small size with Xeen CF lenses. Because the differences between this one and this one is the size and the exterior design. As you can see here, we have carbon fiber, and then we have illuminating numbers. So even though you go to dark environment to shooting, you can still see the T numbers. So now we have very small and compact, lightweight lenses, and then I think you can have more usable lenses to mount with every DSLRs or PM mounts or EF mounts, any of cameras. And then we have 3 different mounts: PL and EF, and also E mount. So enjoy it.
Great, thank you so much. So I'm over here at Western Digital with Ruben, and this has been a long time coming. We're waiting for the CFExpress card to come out, and it's officially here now. We went from the XQD card, which has the same physical interface, and everybody's been kind of waiting for firmwares in their devices to handle CFExpress, but what exactly is CFExpress?
So CFExpress, first of all, thanks for visiting us. We're at, like you said, we're at IBC 2019 here at the Western Digital booth. What we're looking at here is the new CFExpress card, just launched. We have it in up to 512 gigabytes capacity, and what's special about it is that it's basically the next generation interface. So it's super fast. It enables stuff like 6K recording, 8K recording, uncompressed 4K recording, 1700 megabytes per second, which makes it about 3 times as fast as XQD or CFast 2.0.
Which is a really big deal, especially for high-res still cameras too, because you basically never have to worry about a buffer.
No, not at all. It's easily capable of keeping up with the speed. And you mentioned XQD. That's also very interesting because it's technically CFExpress is backwards compatible to XQD.
Right.
So it can be used with cameras like the Nikon Z6, for example, once a firmware update is released. So that's the important bit. The camera has to support it from a firmware perspective, but then it's fully backwards compatible.
Yeah, I feel like people get really annoyed when there's a changeover in memory, right? I mean, we had Smart Media a million years ago, XD, SD, SD Micro, Compact Flash, CFast. I mean, it keeps going, but I feel like we were waiting for this one because the specs are just so high. Why would it would stick around for a while, right?
The specs are very good, and what you mentioned is also, that's obviously not nice if you have too many formats flying around. So it came from Compact Flash, which was kind of the standard for pro grade cameras, but then it kind of split up between XQD and CFast 2.0, which we at Sandisk did support as a format. But now it's coming together again on the CFExpress being the new format of the future for pros, if you want. So
that being said, what are we looking at capacity-wise?
So as I said, we go up to 512 gigabytes of capacity. We start at 64, so you have 64, 128, 256, and 512.
Are we going anywhere bigger than that someday, you feel? Can't talk about it, right?
Usually we can't. No, we can't talk about it at this point in time. But usually, what happens is that capacities go up over time, and with all the content coming.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. The more popular card, the prices go down, it gets more readily available, and then we see more and more capacity go on. So thanks so much for taking the time to talk about CFExpress. We've been waiting for it for a while. I know that people were like, what's the big deal? That's the big deal.
Glad to hear that.
Yep.
Thanks for visiting us.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you.